from March 5th and March 9th. Oh. Carol, would you like to start us off with a prayer?
Creator, today we just give thanks for all of us that were able to be here, and we ask you to watch over us as we take care of the issues of the people. And we also ask you to watch over our elders and our children, and watch over our world today as we're in war. And we just ask you to protect all people who are fighting. And we also ask you to be with our elders and our children, and a special prayer for families who have recently lost loved ones. We've lost a lot lately, Creator, and we just ask you to be with us and comfort us and help us get through these rough times. Comiate.
Thank you, Carol.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Greg.
Page 3 in the middle. Referring to me not saying anything about marketing and the scope of work, or how we will get from market to production. That should be production to market.
Thank you. You got that, Abby?
Yes, thanks.
Any other changes or corrections to March 5th? Motion by Greg to accept the minutes from March 5th with corrections. Seconded by Tom. All in favor? Martin? Unanimous. March 9th minutes. Motion by Tom to accept the minutes of March 9th. Correction, Danny?
The last page there where we took the break after Dan Decker, Katie Jones, I actually left for the remainder of the meeting. I jumped off the Zoom.
Okay, got that, Abby?
Yes, thank you.
Ben just got here, Abby. Any other corrections to March 9th? We got a motion on the floor. Okay, we're on the 9th. If you have a correction to the 5th, on the 5th, let Abby know.
Abby, if you, on the March 5th minutes, if you could show that I was at the Rocky Mountain Tribal Leaders meeting in Billings. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor for March 9th. Seconded by Greg. All in favor? Unanimous? We have, it looks like one addition to the agenda. Jen, is there anything else?
One walk-in.
Okay, one walk-in. Could we get approval of the agenda today?
The agenda, I seen that Gabe Kai submitted a presentation. Did we schedule time for him or is he gonna come in as a walk-in?
No, I have them scheduled for Thursday.
Okay, thank you.
Could we get a motion and second on today's agenda? Motion by Len, seconded by Tom. All in favor? Martin. Okay, unanimous. Jen, is the walk-in and open?
Yes, and open.
Okay, and Danielle. Okay, Danielle, could you go ahead and take over? I've got to walk outside and talk to.
Can you turn on your mic, please? The red button or the button that says talk.
Yep.
Got it. Can you all hear me? Recently, my mother passed away a year ago and I've been living in her home. And we were able to sell her home last Friday. During this process, I went to lands, which have been very helpful. I did find a lease lot out at Kicking Horse. I put in the application for it and we were good to go. However, there was, to no one's fault, an issue with the actual lot itself, so everything had to be resubmitted. It's my understanding that I can move on to that lot. However, I don't have a lease in place yet. So it's going to take an additional month for that lease to get processed. And I'm here requesting that if I'm able to find something prior to that 30-day lease, before I get that lease, that I'm able to move on to that lot and get that process started. It's quite the process of getting the electricity hooked up and all of those things. I cannot put that application in until I'm actually able to find something. And I'm not actually able to buy something until my mother's final accounting is done for her probate. So that's what I'm here to request is that I be given permission if I'm able to find something before that lease comes due, so that I can sign off on it, that I'm able to move onto that lot. Go ahead, Carol.
So I'm a little confused here. She had a lot in Kicking Horse. The lot she had is in a low pressure area and because of the high water table, she can't have an actual footing foundation. It has to be a slab or anything like that because of the potential basement flooding. So she was moved to the north of where she was at, where it would be fine to be moving forward. It's in the review process right now, but legal. But then her request now is if she finds a lot to be able to go to, this is where we've never heard that one yet before from her. She's willing to be working on this paperwork as it's coming through. And at the same time, still looking for another home site lot out there because she can always back out of the one. Are you requesting from the lands to help you find a lot with all the hookups?
No.
Because we could help you with the vacant lots that are out there, or are you just hoping just to find a lot to put your trailer on for a short time?
No, my understanding is that I met with, they met me out at Kicking Horse last Monday, and I was able to show them which lot I had originally picked. There was some confusion in the beginning when, because I knew that the lot at the time that we had discussed was underwater. I knew that wasn't an option. And I think there was some confusion about which lot I had indicated that I wanted. and it was the one up higher, which I indicated to the gentleman that came out on last Monday. So my understanding now is that that is in the process of being done, that particular lot.
Yeah, so all it was is all they did is just transferred everything over already. They just took all the paperwork, everything that you had done, and it's up in review still up there. They just changed all the lease paperwork.
Correct. That's my understanding as well. I'm just requesting that because it takes about a month for that process to happen, that if I'm able to find a home to move on to that lot, that I have permission to move on to that lot prior to signing that lease. That's all I'm requesting.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, the final closing on it won't, it takes about a month for it to go through everybody's signature, but you will be signing the lease contract and everything
Yes.
probably next week.
Okay.
That will be all taken care of on that side. Then it goes through the executive secretary, then the superintendent.
Okay.
And then that's the one that will take the longest to get back to us. But it can be executed by then by you signing it already, since it's already been approved through legal and everybody else.
Okay. That was not my understanding when.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that I had to go back all through the process.
No.
Because we were at a month already.
Yeah.
For that first lot that was underwater, but like I said, there was some confusion about which lot it was when I had talked to Shara about that. And I don't think that it was ever intentional or anything like that.
No.
So I'm just looking for the ability to be able to, if I can find something prior to that lease signing, then I'm able to move it on.
Yeah, because right now, that's locked for you to be going through. It's just making sure it's going through legal right now, just to verify the legal description on it. All of that is correct before signature going out to you.
Understood.
So that's all it is. And then Shara will be calling you as soon as it's done. You can come in and sign the paperwork. Then I will. Then we'll get it up to the executive secretary. I mean, to the tribal secretary.
So that's all I was requesting, is that if I'm able to find something to move on to that lot prior to signing that lease, that I would get permission to do that. A new home? I can't afford a new.
I knew of a trailer that was for sale, a 2-bedroom. It's fairly new. I think it was a 21. And it's in Pablo here. And they can't sell it because of all the stipulations by housing. But they would like to sell it at one point. I knew they wanted to sell it. 2-bedroom, very nice, 2-bathroom.
I think I know which one you're talking about,
Yeah.
and they're asking for double of what I can afford.
Oh, it's only 100.
Correct. It's not that I don't have bad credit. I have no credit because I've lived cash only basis for so long. So getting
Understood.
credit to get a home loan is not an option for me at this point.
It sounds like Lance is able to resolve this in-house and no action will be needed at this time.
And just the other thing, just for clarity too, is if you do find a place, please call Shara so we can get our staff out there and just to make sure that it's going to be able to be placed on the lot.
Yeah.
And for safety or anything like that. And it's also for security of you, that you're not buying a older trailer that may be
Right.
not making the travel.
My understanding is that anything that I were to purchase needs to be inspected and
Yeah,
get
and you
approval.
just call Shara at that one too.
One other thing, tribal credit loans, and also they have down payment assistance that could probably bring it down really low. I just wanted to advise you that
Right.
there are things available.
Thank you. I appreciate
And
that.
we
And
need
I
to
am
help.
aware of those as well. Like I said, as far as purchasing something at this point, I have another 2 weeks to wait until the payout of, trying to think of the correct word to use, my mom's probate. Which originally, when we sold the house, it wasn't going to be a big deal, but her home needed a lot of repairs that we couldn't make ourselves. And so the selling price was a lot lower than what we anticipated. And then again, it's not just myself, it's my brother. So whatever comes out of that gets split. So I'm trying to make it work the best that I can. And I do have less than 60 days now to vacate. But that was my only thing, is I just wanted to know that it wouldn't be an issue for me to, if I find something, and of course, go through the process that Lance has requested. If I was able to find something in the next 3 weeks, which now I know that it will have a lease by then. It shouldn't be an issue. So thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
We'll take it. Okay.
Doesn't say Jasmine isn't here yet or on yet, but Lindsay's on.
Is everybody ready? There is a resolution at 9:50 from Lindsay O'Neill, which is tribal health, correct? Let's go ahead and take that, Jen. Lindsay,
Hello,
hi. Thank you for jumping on early.
no problem.
Okay, go ahead and talk about your resolution.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of council. I appreciate you taking your time this morning to hear me out. I am here to get approval for a resolution for the Highway Traffic Safety Grant. This is our SOAR program that we run through Tribal Health. This is the impaired driving, distracted driving, seatbelt education, and car seat education program that we do throughout Tribal Health. The new grant amount for the fiscal year 27 is $136,552.02. And the only addition that we added to the grant this year is bringing on a student intern. We're looking at an SKC public health student is our hope, to do a part-time internship that would be a paid internship through the SOAR grant. And that was actually recommended by the state to bring that on, to bring in a social connection piece and bring in some cultural activity that was paired with impaired driving, distracted driving into the teen area. So that was an added piece into the grant this year. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Anybody else? No questions? If not, we have a motion on the floor by Tom. Seconded by Greg to authorize the resolution for the highway traffic safety grant. Approval? Or all in favor? This is going to be fun today, guys. Yes. Thank you, Lindsay.
I also have one more just quick thing. I sit on the Buttercup Run Planning Committee, and I was just asked to bring awareness to you guys and just see if there was any objection. We're doing the Buttercup Run April 4th in Arlee, and we would like to shut down the Powah Road just from the fire department to Lumfrey Road, just for the safety of the run itself. There is alternative routes to get around where we're running. It's just that section from the fire department to Lumfrey Road. The fire department would be the ones taking care of that and approval through the county and everything. We were just asked to bring it to your guys' awareness and just see if there was any against shutting that part down for the safety of the runners for that event.
Lindsay, you got, that's probably been done in the past.
I think it has. We didn't do it last year and we ran into some issues with cars trying to drive through. And so it's not necessarily a vote thing. We just wanted to be courteous to letting council know and be aware of it and see if there was any comment or anything, if anybody didn't want us to shut just that little section down.
Okay, Danielle?
They have another event going on down Powwow Road that day. I believe that Easter egg hunt for the community is that same day that uses that access straight down Powwow Road.
And Mark, I got Mark in here because he had a situation with that as well.
Okay, Lindsay, we have the department head from Lance that's gonna say something. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, we heard that there was potentially going to be a conflict between an Easter egg hunt on the 4th and the Buttercup Run. Last month, Trevor Lands came in on behalf of Todd Espinoza with Wildland Rec. He does the hosting of the run for the recreational side of it. We got permission to be utilized in the rodeo grounds and potentially the powwow grounds for the run itself on that day. That starts in the morning.
Yep.
Last run, right around 10:30ish or so. Whole event should be cleared up by 1.
Yep.
What I just seen from a post off of Facebook that the Easter egg hunt now is registration starts at 9:30 right in the heart of the runs, when there's going to be a lot of runners and traffic that's already came in, but there's going to be a lot of runners on the road system during that time. When registration starts, the Easter egg hunt does not start until 11. So there could be some really confliction right there for parking and just for the amount of people on the road. If the parking area is full, the rodeo grounds hopefully will be the one that hosts all of the parking for the run event. So they're not parking on the road like it happened a few years ago. The other part of it, if we could push the Easter egg hunts that's just being advertised right now, if that could potentially be pushed back to 1 or 2 in the afternoon, then they wouldn't have that runner vehicle conflict potentially, which is a major concern when it comes to public health. Talking with Todd Espinoza on it this morning, that over 350 runners have already paid their registration fees and are coming in for the event that morning.
Have you talked with the organizer of the Easter egg hunt?
I had a staff member that actually reached out to them and said this may be an issue, and they were supposed to call this morning. They have not called yet. So they were wanting to hopefully get that, see if they could push it back till 1 or 2. And then I talked with Jen about it, to potentially have it brought in this morning, but it was going to end up being put on the docket for Thursday. So, because we just found out all of this as of last night through the Facebook post.
Okay, well, it sounds like the Buttercup Run you've already talked to the fire department and everything, Lindsay. You've gotten approval through the county.
We have, yeah, but we can change it if we need to. We just wanted to bring it to you guys and see if there was any conflict or anything before we actually shut that section of the road down.
Well, even if it wasn't shut down, it seems like there may still be conflict with the runners. If you can, speak with the organizers of the Easter egg hunt and see if it is a possibility, if it's going to be an issue to start later and bring that back.
Okay, and as far as parking goes, the parking is actually all going to be, it's a private landowner closer down to the fire department. There actually won't even be any parking in the rodeo grounds or any of the powwow grounds, and no cars will be parked on the road at all this year. We have got that all changed for safety wise, and no cars will be driving in that area. We have a whole plan for entrance and exit of parking for that. And then cars could come through Lumfrey Road and down Powwow as well. It would just be that section from the fire department to Lumfrey Road.
Okay, thank you. Tom, you had a question?
Where is the egg hunt at?
I believe it's at the powwow grounds. That's typically where.
Right in Dollar Grounds? And they've already gotten permission for that?
I don't know. I'm
Did
not
you
sure
have
who's
there?
organizing that.
Yeah, because they, when Tribal Lands got the management of the powwow grounds, any events are supposed to be coming through us so we know about it, so we can prevent any of this. And we just heard rumor about it, and then we were trying to find any information on it. And then last night was the first post. But we didn't know the event was happening until last night for sure.
Well, it seems to me like the easiest solution is to postpone the egg hunt till later in the afternoon. It's warmer for the kiddos anyway. But I don't.
Yeah, so if you could check on that, check with the organizers and see if that's a possibility. If they're able to start the hunt later in the day.
Okay.
Be a chance for the kids to go to more than one hunt. There could be one in the morning and then go to one in the afternoon. All right, thanks, Mark. Just bring that back.
Yeah, we'll reach out to the event organizers and bring it back this afternoon.
Bringing it to our attention, Lindsay.
Thank you. And then Mark, if there's anything myself or Todd needs to do on our end, please let us know. But there's multiple of us co-organizing the Buttercup Run, and we're happy to do whatever we need to do to help as well.
Yeah, I'll talk with Todd again after I talk with the event planners of the Easter egg hunt, and we'll go from there.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Lindsay. Jen?
Jasmine. And James Jr. is on now.
Good morning, Tribal Council. My name is Chauncey Means, Division Manager for Environmental Protection. I wanted to come up and introduce Jasmine Corville, who is our Pesticides Program Manager. And our issue starts on page 2.
Jasmine, you can use that mouse to change your pages on the screen.
Good morning, Jasmine Corvell, Pesticide Program Manager. I have 2 requests of council today. The first one is to request approval to move money into capital equipment to purchase a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. We've leased the Jeep since 2020, and instead of renewing a 5-year lease, we just want to buy it for the program. Basically, it's $12,500. How do I...
Scroll.
Okay. Oh, that goes into a different request. So we have on page 4, EPA, Desmond Tita and Kevin Martin is my EPA project officer. They have approved the budget modification. As long as council approves the budget modification, then we can send it into property and supply and begin the process for that. So that's our first request.
Motion by Tom, seconded by Len to approve capital equipment to move money for the purchase of a Jeep Grand Cherokee. All in favor? Unanimous.
Okay, thank you. The second request and the reason I brought my supervisor Chauncey in, I'm asking for approval for an MOU with the Mississippi State Chemical Laboratory. 2 years ago, we entered into a sub-agreement with the Flathead Lake Biological Station to sample fish for pesticide contamination. From 10 different water bodies on the reservation, we're collecting 5 different species. And the SOP of the biostation provides 4 labs to choose from. And laboratories not every lab can do pesticide analysis that are accredited, and not every lab can run for fish or deer or different tissues. Some can only do soil, some can only do water. So first of all, is asking for approval for sole proprietorship for the Mississippi State Chemical Lab. After we looked at what all the labs could do, they can run about 100 different chemicals for $800 per fish. So that's why we selected them. The lab didn't want to do a contract. They are a fee for service lab. Basically, they do the fee, we pay, or they do the service, we pay the fee. And, 3 years ago, these samples were maybe $400 or $500, and today they're running $700 to $800. So they didn't want to get locked into like a specific cost for that. Anyways, Nori has reviewed it, legal has reviewed it, and I apologize, I just got the final version yesterday, so I sent the original in, but then I sent the one legal sent back this morning to Jennifer. And that's the one you see in your packet. So just requesting council's approval to enter into a MOU with this lab.
Okay, motion by Greg, seconded by Tom to approve a sole source MOU with Mississippi State Chemical Laboratory. This has gone through both contracts and grants and legal for review. All in favor? Unanimous.
Great, thank you. And when we get our results, I'll be back in to share them with you guys.
Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Chauncey. Jen?
Miranda.
Good morning, Miranda.
Good morning, council. Jen, do I pull this? Okay. So I am coming to you guys this morning to get approval. I feel like I can't see, sorry. This chair is super long, so walk over here. To do an approval of resolution so we can do a proposal for the National Forest Foundation. And this is the proposal we put into the National Forest Foundation in order to get the 8 CSKT enrolled and descendant students hired on for the summer, the Mission Mountains Youth Program that runs throughout the summer. It's a 9-week program, and we select students from our local high schools. There is an application process, but this is the proposal to be, or the approval to write for the grant proposal that they have already submitted to me. I've been working with contracts and grants on it. They have access to this grant right now, so I just need your permission to finalize everything and get it submitted to contracts and grants before it's due on April 4th to the National Forest Foundation.
Just trying to find it here. Okay. Motion by Tom, seconded by Danielle for approval of a resolution to submit a proposal to the National Forest Foundation for the Mission Mountain Youth Crew program. All in favor? Unanimous.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'd like to go into executive session with Miranda.
Okay. We'll take a few minutes.
Madam Chair.
Jennifer? We got
Ann.
Ann. Good morning, Ann.
I'm Ann Miller with the Tribal Defender's Office. I think I've met all of you except for Councilman Dumont here.
Nice to meet you. I'm here to ask for your approval of an amendment to our organizational chart. Through funding that we got from the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Office of Justice Services, we will be able to hire an investigator for the first time, really, since the tribal defenders have been around. This really goes to the American Bar Association principles for public defense, also the effective assistance of counsel. Of the principles, it goes to parity with prosecution, management of workload, also data collection, which is a new principle added by the ABA in 2023. That's one of the duties I've added to the investigator's position to assist us with data collection.
Other than data collection, what else do they do? And what would a typical thing that they would do, an investigator?
What they do is really what primarily I expect the investigator to be is an unbiased fact finder, a person who's going to interview witnesses, assist us with discovery review, help us manage witnesses at hearings and trials, interview witnesses, record, collect records, also keep us informed on best practices for police and child abuse and neglect situations. They can also assist us pre-trial for contacting witnesses before bond arguments. My expectation is that they would be involved early on and really assisting the attorneys in managing caseload and doing an independent investigation of criminal matters and civil matters that we're involved in. I also put in the job description a high priority on integrity and honesty because we'll have that person out in the community doing investigations, and we want to make sure that they're representing the Tribal Defender's Office accordingly and showing integrity in what they do.
Danielle?
It's, will this job be advertised or are you moving somebody into that position and how?
No, we'll advertise it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that OJS funding every year, or is this?
It is, well, they've given us the opportunity to apply every year. It does carry over. And it'll last as long as that funding's available to us. So when we advertise, it'll be advertised as a grant funded position that's available as long as the funding's available.
Motion by Len to approve the organizational chart, which includes or adds investigator into the Defender's organizational chart. Seconded by Greg. All in favor? Carol? Unanimous. Greg?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ann, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What I'm about to say has absolutely nothing to do with you or the tribal defenders, but I just want to draw to the council's attention that the BIA is again kind of messing around with our compact relationship with them. So, I mean, it's great that the funding is made available. It is not good that the funding is not available as a part of our compact. So each time one of these issues comes up, because there's been several already in just the last few weeks, I'm going to draw it to the council's attention. So when we enter into negotiations with the Bureau, we'll be able to get these funds up front instead of having to apply for them piecemeal as the year goes on.
Good to know. Thank you.
Go ahead, Len.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Ann, can we get an updated report on Morningstar? The Yeah, just overall information about successes,
Yeah.
the types of wraparound services that are supposed to be helping the tenants in there, and yeah, I'm really kind of focused on successes. What kind of successes are we
Yeah,
seeing
thank
in
you.
there? And I know one of the issues that was brought to my attention was the lack of staff. It's kind of it's kind of been challenging since the get-go, right?
Yes.
And so the current situation is once the staff person leaves after 5:30, it's a free-for-all, right?
That is the perception, and we do have an after-hours person, but it's not 24/7 coverage.
Exactly,
You're right,
yeah.
and that is also one of the reasons why we've applied for funding for a new building, so we can set it up so that there's only one access through a front desk.
Yeah.
And and we would need staffing for 24/7. But you're right, we need someone there.
And I understand it's a budget issue, but just an FYI, after midnight, there's a lot of activity that takes place over there. And
Thank
it's a
you.
lot of has to do with moving fentanyl.
Thank
So
you.
anyway, just wanted to bring that to your attention, and so we'd be cognizant of it and trying to figure out. And as I mentioned before, I understand the importance of this facility. And so if you need to come back into council and request another budget, we gotta figure this out, because we want to see that place succeed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I will get with Stephen, our services coordinator, to get a report to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Carol?
Madam Chair, yeah, we've taken opioid money and put it towards some things that are outside of our system. I think we really need, and I think Ann recognizes everything that's going on there, but use that money to take care of what we have going on in the organization. And I really look at it as, because we brought it to your attention, but if you have no money, what can you do? You can only survive on and try to protect it. But people are talking about this place. We need to do something. And I have kind of struggled with not knowing what to do. And you see the gates open and it just, anyway, Ann, I think you need to request some of that money and pay the people properly and get somebody in there. I mean, I know Steven's trying to do and he's really good. I mean, super good, but he's only one person. It just needs to have a 24-hour. And I worry about housing in their new unit over there, what's gonna go on there. I mean, you've struggled and now we've got another place to try to, and then we've got the mornings, or not the mornings, or Anchor Way, who has been able to actually bring in people and be able to do a really good job. And maybe we need to pick up some of those and take them down there and pay for it with opioid money.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
And I totally agree with Carol. I think the opioid settlement is our solution to this. And as a matter of fact, to a lot of our programs. And so I'm not really sure how we would go about this, but I think I would like to see you just put a budget together and come forward, and then we can get the approval amongst council to move forward with using the opioid settlement, because funding is just sitting there. We need to do something with it, and I think your program is ideal. That we need to try to help and enhance your program because of the services that you provide.
Thank you.
So,
Appreciate
Tom?
that.
Yeah, I'm talking about that opioid money. The only use we've had of it was supposed to be a 1-year funding for bridge salary for an individual over here. And that was I think Carol's point is that maybe it's better spent at your facility. And so, and that was just supposed to be a one-time thing over here. So I'm not sure where we're at with that. I don't want to necessarily see it again, but they were missing out and they were supposed to get other money to fund that position. So it'd be nice to know where we're at with that also. But, yeah, there is available interest money that's unspent right now on an annual basis.
Oh, okay, good to know.
So there's available probably $70,000 right now a year. Well, it would be 130,000 altogether if we didn't have the 1 year salary off of it already.
Ruth Swaney has the wording about like what it could be used for. If you have any questions
Okay,
about that, you
thank you.
grab that from her.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Anne? All right, well, Anne, thank you. Thanks for all the good work that you do.
Thank you. I'm excited about our investigator. Okay, good, thank.
How soon will they be your advertising? How soon would they be on? Awesome. Great, thanks. We are going to take a quick break. The next one isn't on until 10:45. I think she can get them over here a little bit early, but let's take a 15-minute break. Okay, we can get started. Judge Pluff, what do you have for us today?
All right, I have a new org chart for the court, for a couple of different reasons. The old org chart had, the CASA program, the guardian ad litems. That program has been, not in existence for at least a year, probably going on 2 years now. And so they're no longer needed under our org chart. And then we want to include the tribal court improvement program. And we think that should be under the court now. And talking with Michelle Mitchell, she's the one that kind of brought it up to me. And she called me, I talked to her one day and she asked me why that wasn't under the court. And I always thought it was strange that it wasn't. I think that program was in effect, for a couple of years before I even knew that there was a tribal court improvement program. So it's just easier, I think, if it's under us to access some of the funding for training and supplies that we need. So she told me I needed to do an org chart, and here I am. Want to include the tribal court improvement program. It's a grant. So we take the program, and I think there are currently 3 employees. They're paid through the grant, so it's not going to change our budget at all. It's just going to make it easier for the court to access funds for training and supplies and things like that. So need to get approval from the council to change the org chart.
So you said the funding, how to say that again? Their funding comes over under you now, or?
Yeah, well, we inherit the whole grant. That grant pays the salaries of their current employees, and so it's not going to affect our budget.
And you have space for 3 employees?
Yes. We do now. We're kind of, for now, we're housing people in the old courtroom. Until we can get more space, and then we'll go from there.
Motion by Greg, seconded by Tom, to approve the new org chart under the court to remove the CASA program and add the tribal court improvement program underneath them.
Okay.
All in favor? Unanimous.
Okay, thank you. And I just need a signature.
Okay, thank you.
Taking a time for council, you guys ended up getting busy. Last 2 Thursdays ago, remember we were planning for you guys to come over in the third appealing court and ended up getting busy. So at some point, they want to send block out an hour or so for you guys to come over. We'll get that done.
Jen will work on that.
That,
Jen will work on
Yeah.
that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Judge Puff.
Legal is ready, but one of the items is an open. Melissa is on.
Okay, so we want to start. Go ahead, Dan, start with Melissa then.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair.
Good morning, council. I have for you today the annual funding agreement for the Flathead Reservation Water Management Board. It is for the same amount that was funded last year, $570,500. It is an equal amount that is being allocated from the state to meet the budget and needs of the Water Management Board. So I have prepared for you the agreement as well as a resolution approving use of water compact funding for this purpose.
Len,
Just a quick question. So do we still have vacancies on the board? Did we fill that position yet?
That position was filled by Ruth Swaney.
Okay.
She was appointed to be the representative from the tribes. Last week, they interviewed, I believe, about 5 candidates to replace Georgia Smees, who is leaving the board. I don't know that they've acted to replace her yet, but I will find out. But they had an open seat that was just the 5th member that gets selected by the other 4 members.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good selection.
okay, motion by Tom to approve the annual funding agreement with the Flathead Reservation Management Board. Seconded by Len. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Is the rest in executive session?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Out of regular session into executive session. And motion by Greg to adjourn. Do I have a second? Second by Bing. All in favor? All right.